Just starting my guards now. So next part of the puzzle. So I've already been through these once in my previous video, but I'll go through it again of the condition and what I'm going to do. So overall it's not actually too bad. Someone's painted it matte black, but it's obviously just on top because you can still see the pinstripe through there. There is a piece that I need to make up through here, it's a bit rusty on the end. Down the bottom here, I've just got to remake the bottom. It's not actually too bad, it's just this section here. And then there's a few dents up through here, but nothing major. Same with through the middle, but it's all pretty good. You can see by the reflection. So this guard used to be white, now it's been painted red, and now someone's painted black. But yeah, you can see it's slightly dented through that area. So yeah, I'll clean this right back and make it a fresh start. So that's pretty much that guard, and that's probably the best guard out of the two. This is the second one, which has a bit more work involved. It's pretty obvious. I've got to remake the whole bottom there pretty much. Free from up the top there, or just inside that into there. So I will keep this front piece just so I can keep the original shape, and then I'll just have to remake all this, put the swage in there. It has had some work before. You can see the sink back the lines from sanding. It did have some bog in here, which I've tapped out at home. So I'm trying to have the least amount of filler in there. Got to make up this corner here. So I'll just chop out this whole section and remake it all, fill up the cable tie hole, and just clean up underneath there. And just a few little bits like this, just clean up. I think there's another one just under here, clean that one up. Maybe some filler through here, I'm not sure, but there is some sink back. As you can tell, the paint's not that thick either. It's only got the red coat and this black on top. So overall the bones of the guards are quite good. It's just a few little bits there, the usual rust out areas. Same as the other side, a bit of a hollow going on through there, a few dents. I'm going to fill this hole up for the aerial and clean up all around these little rusty areas, but it's nothing too major, just a bit of time. But yeah, same thing as the other guard, it's pretty good shape apart from the areas that are affected. So I thought I'd try rubbing with some thinners and Prepsol, but thinners seem to be doing the job, and I'm just rubbing off with the black paint. It's just aerosol. It's not too pretty, but it saves a bit of a task of stripping it right back, like all the black that's off it. I'm unsure what all this stuff is, but yeah, I'll get another clean rag after this and wipe it all down again. Hopefully it should be near pretty much red and whatever this stuff is off. It's very unusual. It's got these runs on it. So yeah, just making my way down, just rubbing it. It's quite messy. So yeah, as you've seen, I just swapped over with thinners. It started getting a bit hard getting all this stuff off, so I just left it. But you can sort of see what's underneath all that black. Some red. So yeah, I've done that on both of them. This one I just left. I sprayed it on there, but popped off what I could. That was coming off easily, but the rest of it's not really coming off, so I'll just sand it off. But it gives you some sort of indication what's underneath that black paint. But yeah, still have no idea what all this is. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm going to start into making some metal around here so I can weld to it and start making up this front corner. Just right in that little patch there, so that covers an aerial, and I'll grind it all flat once it's done. So since then I've just been making up a little template, just a basic one just for the corner here, just to give me some idea what to cut out before cutting and bending and whatnot to make a new corner. But what I'm thinking is, because my guards, or my bumper I should say, I made a big tab I might actually make a tab further out here, so I don't have to have a tab at the end. That way I'll give it a bit more clearance for the wheel. So yeah, like in the last video, I made extra large tabs so I can put a hole anywhere. So if I can bring this up and just have a tab up further, I might do that. Yeah, we'll see how we get on, but that's the plan. But yeah, it's just a quick and easy way of doing it, and then you modify it as you go from there. So this is my patch so far, just been tapping it up. Basically it's to cover that piece there. I'm just going to trim it down to size. So I've actually done all this on this vise right here. Just because all the separate little curves, I've put an extra cut in there just to, where my little finger is, just to give it a bit more curvature in that front piece. Because our main big press, folding or press brake, whatever you want to call it, yeah, it's too hard to fold this piece in here, so I can't actually fold all these bits up properly as you normally would. So that's why I've had to use a vise. So it just shows that you can do this sort of stuff at home. You just got to have a bit of time, patience, and make a pattern first. But yeah, it's taking shape. So what I'll do is I'll cut this out shortly and start folding this around so it's got a bit of a curve in it. But yeah, so far so good. Right, patch is all made up now, just about to weld it in. I've just actually put this piece of bar on here just so I can make sure I line it up correctly so it doesn't droop off or go too high. So yeah, that should give me some sort of indication. Plus I don't want my bumper to end up being too far out or too far in. So I've also measured from this point here up to the point of where this bottom here is, just so I know it's in the proper spot. I just measured off this guard here because this one isn't so eaten away like this one. But yeah, it's progress. Finished welding the front in now, and still looking pretty good. And I've actually welded in this extra section in the front there, so as I was talking about, I can choose where I'm going to put the hole to hold the bumper. And yeah, just ground the two up, the aerial hole and this. Ground up in there a bit, still got to finish doing a few more bits. I haven't done this yet because I might sort of slightly flare this flange around so that the wheel doesn't touch it when it's in there. So that's yeah, coming away quite nicely. So I'm starting on this section here, and what I've done is got my other guard which isn't as bad, so I can get a template, written all the numbers on there of what to measure to, and I've just made a template here for my fold lines on both sides. So I'm going to fold up that section there, and it's going to come up to about here, and then I'm just going to trim it down to the area that I need it. So yeah, so hopefully this weekend I can bring my car down and get these guards on to see how they actually fit, as to what alterations I have to do or what I have to bend. So right here I've just marked out all my folds as per my little template I made pattern. So I've got some numbers on them of what order I'm going to fold them. So I'm just making one long piece, then I can make the full bottom of the other guard, and then I'll have enough left to do this. So at the moment I've folded up to there's a little swage there. Then we've got the 10 mils, another 10 mils, and double fold in the middle there because it's quite a radius corner. And then it's going to come up here, so I'll just trim it down to wherever I need to do it. That way both are equal, same folds, and then I can just trim it and fit it to where it needs to go. So yeah, tonight I'm going to use our big folder which I showed you, which I couldn't do my little patch on, purely because I can fit the whole thing straight in there. This isn't up, so that's what's sliding in. But yeah, basically goes in there. Got a big handle here which you just tilt it to the angle that you want, lock it down with this. It's pretty long, but does the job quite well. So the first folds in, it's all clamped down off this piece here. So I'll just zoom out a bit. I just need to twist this and it twists the whole bottom. Now release it, and then I'll need to pull it out, go to my next fold, and just proceed on as that till I've got the full shape all made up. So I made my first fold, a small little one here, which is to replicate this little one here. So it's still straight, but it's got that little sway to it. So now I'm going to go to number 2. You can find it. I've done that. So I'm up to number 3, which will be this sharp one here, and then 4 and 5 in this crew, this one in here, and then number 6 at the bottom here. You've got to do it in order so it fits in the folder, otherwise you do it the wrong order, it doesn't work. Next folder's done, so you can sort of see it's starting to take shape. So there we have it. Just fold up my big patch, which is to resemble the bottom of this guard. So I sort of underfolded this bottom one just so that when I pull it around, it pulls a bit more curve into the section at the bottom here. I've also done a few folds just in the middle just to give it some direction to fold. So yeah, that's that. Car down at work now, so yeah, we're going to start stripping out. Just pulled out these corner lights on both sides and the grille, and work on pulling the bumper off and the 2 guards, and then I can fit these Trueno ones up and make the bottom, so make sure it all fits nicely to the sill. That way it's all nice and in line. This one's slightly out, but let's see what we can do. Bumpers off. Guards are off now, so yeah, looking pretty naked. Just got to take these lights out because it's got 2 more bolts on each side to pull them off. They're just floating. But I've got to disconnect all this, these fog lamps I put in there. But yeah, she's not too bad looking. A lot of them rust up there, which looks pretty decent to me. Same on this side, looks pretty decent. So nothing too suspicious, which was surprising because there's been no guard liners and all the stuff's been flying up there. You can see how filthy it is. Yeah, and these have been all elongated by someone else because it has had a frontal repair before. Just been doing a cross measurement too, just to see how out of square it is, and she's slightly out, so I'll have to pull the front over as well. So I've got that in the upper guard bolt hole up there, and coming down to here, she's not too far out, but that should be sitting in the guard bolt hole, and it's not. And you can see that. So if I pull it around to the other side, so I've got up in that top guard bolt, and coming down to here, you can see it's directly in the hole. That little edge bit's slightly folded over too, and you can see the old cracked filler from someone else. But fortunately I've got a new radius support panel along the top there to put on, which will straighten all that bent looking stuff up. So I'll put the pull rig on this and give it a pull before I pull it off. I've also measured from here to here, just to make sure it's not back or anything, because I've noticed on this side there's a bit of a kink sort of thing going on there, whereas this side has nothing, and that's how it should look like. So I'll address that too. Hopefully once I pull it over I can just get a bit of a tap and straighten it up, because the rest of it's pretty good from there, pretty good to there. It's just this little piece here. So to combat my front being out of square by whatever it was, about 10 mils, I've got this pull rig which I used in my highlights front bull bar, if you watch that video. So this is just going to pull it right across. I'll probably have to over pull it and then it will go back to where it should. I just chipped out a bit of this bog, you can see how nasty it is behind there. So yeah, I'm glad I'm getting into this and resolving all this out of squareness and getting rid of all this muck that's in here and rust behind it. So yeah, just got this foot pedal and just pull it and the chain will pull it tight. So from that first pull, it's come over probably half the amount, so it's not quite like it was before. So I've got to give it another pull, but I'm actually going to have to chain this to the ground because the car's so light, it's just dragging it across the workshop. So I'm going to chain it down to probably this hole down here, just so it can't pull right across, and see if we can get it over just that extra wee bit, just to make it perfectly square. And then I know that I'm working to a true square front, and it'll just make everything line up a lot nicer, the bonnet, the lights and guards and everything. Just finished on my final pull, which has done a great job, and it's all nice and square on both sides like that into the bolt hole. I just gave it a few shunts as well, just to shock it along the top here and just on the piece here, which kind of looked like it was bent from the accident previously. So that's all I'm going to do as far as straightening the front end up. Happy about that. So now I'm going to hook back onto these guards and get these bottoms sorted. Just to line this guard up, so all these sort of swage lines will meet up as best as I can, and that's all tacked in place. So I'm going to go ahead and start welding a few more bits so I can make sure it stays in the right positioning so it doesn't warp. But yeah, I've got it up on these stands now just to make it a little bit easier, and it's nice and straight going along that way too, it doesn't stick out in any way. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Just finished doing the bottom of this guard, so it's come up pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Just wired it all in place, and then took it off and ground it up. So yeah, she's looking all pretty. Going from that to that is quite an improvement. Special delivery turned up today. New Zenki lip, brand new Toyota genuine. Come from Japan. I'm going to open this up and have a look shortly, but this is me. I'll stick with this. Here it is out of the packet. Turn up mint, not even a scratch on it. Which I'm pleased about, the box looked a bit worse for wear with the holes over there. That will just finish off the front quite nicely. So here we are, looking at fitting this lip to my front bumper. It's got these interesting little things sticking out, so I'm going to have to make a bit of a template up and lay it on my bumper so I can make these holes for this to fit in properly. But as you can see, there's actually nothing there, and there's nothing on the inside marking or showing where it should be. Whereas the modern day vehicles usually have like a little marking on the back where you just drill through so you know where to do it. Yep, so that's going to be interesting. And then down in here there's some other fastening holes which I've got to make a template on and try and make that fit. I mean, you could chop those off, but I want to make it as secure as I can and supported. So this is my pattern, so effectively this should run along the bottom of the bumper, and then got that fold there, which should be the edge of the bumper, and then I've got these holes, so I can put this on the edge of my bumper around here, and hopefully get the appropriate holes, and then those should slot through. Drilled some nervous holes in the bumper now, so yeah, it seems a waste of time welding up that piece there and fixing up some of these other bits, but oh well, I wasn't to know it was going to cover it all. So I'm going to try and put it on and see how the side slips in, and if it's a success I'm going to do it on the other side. And there we have it. So that's a nice snug sort of looking fit. So these ones are bang on. These ones I have to actually elongate because the way the angle of these things pop through, so they have to be like that. So the other side's going to be the same because they shoot off on an angle. But yeah, I'm going to do the other side now, and then we can find out where the rest of these other ones go. Lip is all pretty much fitted apart from these middle ones that are in behind here. So I've got these ones all through, and these ones all through, and these ones here drilled. And she's not going anywhere, eh? She's pretty secure. So yeah, next I'll have to find out where these go, but they can be another day. I'm just doing this quickly after work before going home. On to the next guard, left hand side guard now. So just marked out what I'm going to trim out first and just see what's behind there. Hopefully it's all good, so I'm going to just make this section up and fold the back section over. And I've just traced up the side of it on there so I know it's the correct angle. And yeah, clean out between the two layers of the metal there. And hopefully be all good. Finish my patch off, so pretty simple. Still got to cut out that section there for the factory bit we secure it to the bottom of the sill there. So I've actually cut a bit further up into this piece here, just because there's some nasty bits of rust which are quite deep on the inside. So that's just going to sort of sit in there like that, and then I'll just tack it up and then fold the sides around. So yeah, it's pretty simple but straightforward. All welded and ground up now, so she's looking pretty smart. Going from this to that, and she's all nicely tapped around up there. So I've just cut out all this section which is all rusty through here, and I'll add this big lip and extension on up to the front here, just like the other side, so I can trim it back later on as to where it needs to be, so I can secure the bumper possibly further up. Guards all fitted up now, so I've been just trying to get this out to fit the door nicely. I've got it pretty close but not quite. I'm just trying to get these lines matched up. It kind of bugs me when I see these and they all stepped up and not quite how they should be. But I do know this door's got some sort of filler in it up here because it's a lot thicker than it should be. So you can see that's quite thin down there, and then that goes quite thick. So I'll block that back and see what's going on behind there, so I can get this guard true to the door. But yeah, the bottom's come up good. And the same with the front there, you can't even tell that piece has been welded in there. So yeah, progress is going well. So next I'm going to bring down the bonnet so that I can get the true gaps correctly. It's not too bad, it's slightly tighter down here than up here, but this is fiberglass, so who knows what kind of shape that's in. And this one's really good too. So yeah, it's coming along quite well. And here's my new radio support panel, which I'm just going to weld onto the top. Obviously got to pull this one off first, take the spot welds off and whatnot. But yeah, progress is going well. I'll see you in the next video.